planes to knock out 3 different sites. So pretty much all of our crew, day shift and night shift, is out, and we're gonna get some real stuff done today. It's awesome. So flying in Antarctica is really quite a unique experience because there aren't any hardened runways across the continent. So anytime you're landing, it might be in a place where no one's ever landed before. So there may not be a runway set up, and the landscape is always changing. Ice and snow accumulations may vary, and so it's up to the pilots to be able to land successfully and to know when and where and how to land. And that takes a lot of experience and just a lot of basic gut instincts to know how to do that. And we're fortunate enough to have a lot of incredibly skilled and very experienced pilots from Ken Bork Air to do this. And so landings aren't as smooth as what you might expect at home. As you can see in this video, we're about to land at Mount Carbone. So it was an incredibly smooth ride out there. And as usual, the landing was a little bumpy once we got down on the ground. So this has probably been our most successful day of the season. It was quite a busy one. At all of the sites, everyone pitches in to carry equipment, to swap out solar panels or wind turbines or basically whatever else might have been damaged or destroyed during the winter. So there is a lot of work to do. There's a lot of little screws and bolts and tools that need to be kept track of. Lots of fine motor skills involved, so people have to take their hands out of their gloves for a while and pitch in and get everything done. And we were quite successful that day. We managed to visit 3 sites and made it back all in one piece. Once we got back to Byrd, we had all 3 planes sort of landing at around the same time, and we also had a Herc come in. So it was probably one of the busiest runways on the continent that day. So we're feeling pretty good about our accomplishments so far this season. We've got half the season behind us with over half of the sites visited, including a brand new install at Bennett Nunatak. We've also made it to Kohler Glacier, Clark Mountains, Mount Carbone, Seipel Dome, Iggy Ridge, Falone Nunataks, Mount Howe, Howard Nunatak, Cordner Peak, Pecora Escarpment, and Wilson Nunatak, and also one more seismic transect site. We want to give a shout out to Paul and Dylan. Thanks for your help at Seipel and at Iggy Ridge. That's much appreciated. We were sad to say goodbye to about 11 of our team members a couple of weeks ago, but also happy to see them head off to Union Glacier Camp, which is about 700 kilometers or so from here. And so they're able to reach some sites that we can't reach from Byrd Camp, and they've been getting some great weather and being able to get a lot done. So our major goal out here this season is to turn every one of those dots on that map green. And we're especially keen to get out to the sites along the coast before the end of the season. But as life in Antarctica goes, nothing ever really goes to plan. The weather always changes, plans always change, and so for every day that we're flying, we probably have about 3 or 4 days where we're sitting at camp either waiting for weather to improve or waiting for planes to arrive. And so we have a little bit of downtime. And so we use this time to sort of prep our equipment and train for the field and get together as a group and sort of understand these ever-shifting logistics. And we've also had some time over the holidays to put together a few snippets of what life is like here at Byrd Camp. We're in the middle of West Antarctica. We're living on an ice sheet. And so it's a pretty unique environment, a pretty unique lifestyle. And so we've got some fun stories to tell.
Well, I have to admit, I didn't know I was going to be sleeping in a tent when I arrived. It was kind of a surprise to me. Okay, you're going to be camping in -20 in Antarctica for the next 3 months.
It's not as cold as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be like living in an ice cave. I don't know what I thought. I thought it was just going to be freezing, but it's not so bad.
I like sleeping in a tent because honestly, when you're living in this kind of environment, you're around people all the time and working and playing, and the galley is basically the major social space. The tent is really your only private space.
I think camping in the Antarctic is a lot easier than camping in, say, New Zealand. And the reason for that is that although it's cold and windy down here, it's very, very dry, so you can just brush the snow off you and it doesn't melt.
There are cold moments. It challenges your ability to keep yourself comfortable.
My favorite strategy is the 2 water bottles at night of hot water. So 2 plastic Nalgene water bottles, one at my feet and one that I can cuddle with, and those help immensely.
And I also bring a pair of wool gloves of some kind because your hands can get cold if they're exposed in the night.
Well, some nights it's cold, some nights it's hot. Last night it got pretty hot.
Depending on cloud cover and wind, the tent can be anywhere from, below 0 to, the other day, I think about 4 a.m. probably is the local noon here. It was 87 degrees inside my tent, 87 Fahrenheit.
And the sun's up all the time. It just gets so hot that keeping cool is the issue.
At home I actually took a mosquito net tent and covered it with black fabric. And so I put that around my head so it's dark at night and it also keeps the drafts away. And to me that's been a wonderful thing. But if I didn't have that, I would literally take a cardboard box and put it around my head.
I've tried the cot, a little cot you lie in, you can get those, they're kind of comfortable. It's kind of, I think other people think you're a sissy if you have one, but I really like it.
I like having something to listen to when I go to bed at night, so I've always got some books on tape. Right now I'm listening to the rise and fall of Rome, and it puts me to sleep in 5 minutes every single night.
So sleeping in a tent is not that big of a deal. We've all managed to deal with it here at Byrd. I would say one of the bigger challenges is actually bathing. And you're lucky, whoever's watching this, that you can't actually smell me right now because I'm quite lazy and I haven't taken a shower in over a month because I'm relying on everyone else to tell me at what point I stink enough that I actually do need to take a shower, and so far no one's had the guts to do that. So I've been shower free for a while. But if you ask around camp, there is a pretty broad range of ideas and opinions about the whole bathing concept here at Byrd.
Bathing. Oh, that, yeah, bathing.
It was 34 days until my first shower.
So we have to fill our water up in the galley. It makes you cleaner though because it comes from glacial snows.
You could take a shower pretty much as regular as you want if you're willing to shovel that amount of snow and go through the hassle that it is to get the shower ready to go.
I personally believe in the importance of staying clean. It's not the best when you walk by somebody who's a little funky or who's got the beast going on, but that is a part of camp life and it's to be expected. But if you can keep that beast off of you, then you're doing all right.
Welcome to the bathhouse. It is unfortunately not as popular a spot as it should be.
I bring a lot of baby wipes to keep clean, and I think that's across the board with a lot of people.
These are the greatest baby wipes. I recommend getting this exact box with the flip lid. They don't smell bad, they're super convenient, and if you have baby wipes, you really can stay remarkably fresh and clean.
So you might go a month without a shower, just something you're going to have to live with.
Your body doesn't, after a while it stops producing so much oil, and after a month or two, I didn't really miss showering very much at all.
I've been here 3 weeks and I've taken 1 shower, and I don't know if it was worth it because it just left my skin dry anyway.
Out here, it's so cold you usually don't smell yourself until you get back to McMurdo.
So this is the shower room. It's been a little bit improved. It used to be sort of a claustrophobic plastic death trap covered in other people's hair. But they've done some nice additions here with some bamboo. This is organically harvested bamboo, and they've weighted the bottom with some more bamboo so it doesn't cling to you. This is a propane-powered instant water heater. So cool to warm. I'm gonna go for warm. Wait for it. There it is.
Well, since we have the wash tent up, I take a shower twice a week. But I had this notion that I was gonna take a shower more often when I got here. But I have like 14 bars of soap, which I didn't even get through one as yet.
You shower and then, you go out to the next work day and you're covered in sweat and you think, what's the point?
Here it's just such a pain. You got to carry water there and pour it in there and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a chore to do it. Although I know some people take a shower every single day. I don't know how they do it, but they do.
I've been here for 2 weeks and I've showered once, and it was not the most pleasant experience. I actually felt dirtier.
So I think I'm gonna forgo the showering.
That's up to the person. Some people love the thought of letting your body fix itself and whatever, but I'm sweating in the kitchen, so I don't need to stink out everybody, and I'm not trying to compete with the fuelies for who stinks worse.
You just bring enough underwear and you don't have to do any laundry.
I'm also I send my clothes to McMurdo every week, and a good friend of mine washes my clothes for me. But if I was to wash them here, we have this really cool hand crank washer, and I get to live kind of vicariously watching other people wash their clothes here in Byrd Camp.
There's this nice little house on the prairie washing machine. It is a little difficult to use at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's nice.
Yeah, doing laundry, it's different. It's not just like set it and forget it. You actually have to work at it.
I was here for almost a month last year, and I think I changed my clothes once.
I'm embarrassed to say I don't do laundry.
Toilet facilities are just fine.
There are big holes in the ground, which I guess is all you need, is somewhere for things to fall. So,
I mean, it's probably the best outhouse you'll ever go in.
There's a lot of creative writing going on the walls, and a lot of entertainment with that.
It's not very luxurious, but it's totally fine. You get a nice cool breeze once in a while, kind of like an Arctic bidet or Antarctic bidet.
I think it's great because you don't have to flush.
They're basically primitive outdoor toilets. I was raised with that. Never had indoor plumbing when I was a kid. I'm old enough to remember that. So no, it's just something you put up with. They're quite comfortable by outdoor toilet standards. Like I say, compared to even the national park standards, these are probably better.
It's quite nice compared to what it could be. You know, that would be maybe a bucket behind a snow block wall. That's about the worst I've seen.
It's rustic.
Except here it's all frozen pretty quickly, so it's not too smelly and it's not as gross as it might sound, but it can be breezy and refreshing.
This year we built a pea glue, a big outhouse of sorts for the guys.
For the women, it's not so cool, but for the men, it's definitely, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna. People are gonna come just to see the pea glue from all over the world. Only the pea glue.
Blocks the wind, works out really well actually. It's actually like 10 degrees warmer too.
I can run over there, you know, in like a t-shirt and some pants, and it's like, all right, this is cool. Like,
it should be here for years to come. There it is. How was that?
Successful.
Good.
Mission accomplished. Yeah, feel better. Nothing but blue sky above you. That must be nice.